Welcome back to Leeds Lately. We're going to be talking about Largie Ramazani today and why I think he needs to start from now on. Before we get into that though, make sure you go ahead and hit that big red button down below because it massively helps me out on that journey to 10,000 subscribers. So, Largie Ramazani then, have we seen enough from him yet? Of course, he only came in a few weeks ago. Of course, we've only had a few games. But he keeps getting substituted on in the 85th minute, the 80th minute, and only getting 5 to 10 minutes of playing time. I think he's worth so much more than that, and of course the club do as well because they paid that much money for him. But for me, I think he needs to start. I really do think he needs to start, and the reason for that is the way that he plays football is something that will massively, massively help us out in these games, especially trying to make to break down low blocks. He's somebody who I think, especially whilst Dan James is out of the team, needs to be in the team not in no particular order. One thing is his pace. Second thing is his ability to carry the ball. Now, these two things are a really good combination to have. And the reason for that is it opens up opposition. Now, we saw even in the limited amount of time, limited minutes that he has had for Leeds, when he's picked the ball up on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, what he does is he likes to drive inside with it. Likes to cut inside from the wing. So imagine he's on the halfway line. He cuts inside with a curved run towards the centre of the pitch. Now, the first thing this does is take out the winger because the winger doesn't want to come inside with him and follow him the whole way, because if he then goes backwards or plays a pass backwards to Ampadu, who then goes back out to the position that Ramazani was in, that space is now open for a fullback. So the winger doesn't want to track him. That's the first thing. If he comes inside and the winger's not tracking him, he can then open up space in the midfield by going past a midfielder. If he goes past a midfielder like he is very good at doing, it then sucks that player out of position as well. So now you've got a winger and a midfielder who are both thinking, what do we do here? He's gone past us. And what that does is, especially with zonal defending, it makes them go, well, whose player is that now? Now he's gone past. It's not in my zone. It's not in your zone. Who is that? And then they keep trying to pass on the player to other people. And it causes bigger and bigger issues for the defence. And that is why when somebody like Largie Ramazani cuts in from the wing and runs towards the opposition, he often makes it to the box, all the way to the box from the halfway line. Wherever he picks it up, he tends to actually make it all the way to the penalty area. The one thing that, from what we've seen of him so far, that he needs to improve is his final product. Can he play that final pass? Can he have that shot that goes in at the end of it? But so far, he's providing something that nobody else in the squad gives. And what I think he is almost a combination of Jorginho Rutter and Crescencio Somerville. Obviously not on the level of those players in terms of output and in terms of goal contributions. But in terms of the style of player he is, he can carry the ball like Jorginho. He's good at carrying the ball over great distances. He's got the pace of Dan James, actually. He's got the pace of Dan James. He's got the carrying ability of Jorginho Rutter. And he's got the kind of stature and demeanour of Crescencio Somerville in terms of his low centre of gravity, his ability to go either way. He's short, he's diminutive, he's able to drop a shoulder and go either side of a player. And what I think this offers to Leeds is an out ball, because a lot of the time we spend our time going sideways and backwards and sideways and backwards, and when we do find a pass into the front man, it might be that Mateo Joseph has had to drop very short to come and pick up the ball with his back to the defenders, play it off, turn around and run towards the front line again. But what that does is it kind of stagnates Leeds a little bit, and they don't have any other options other than to try and pass through the lines, which is all well and good because you do want your team to be able to do that. But when you want a different option, an out ball, something different to be able to do, you want somebody like Largie Ramazani on the pitch. And having him on the bench, for me, is really helpful to no one. It really is helpful to no one. I think if you have him on the pitch against Burnley, if you brought him on earlier in the game, I think he opens up their defence. I think he draws fouls for midfielders who are already on yellow cards for a start. I think he pulls players out of position and opens up spaces for his teammates. So if he cuts inside, you get Bogle going down the wing, and then because the fullback might be drawn in to come and go to Ramazani, then you might have space down the wing for the ball to be played to Bogle. You see what I mean? Like the way that he moves across the pitch opens up spaces for all of his teammates. Now with him dribbling and running at the defence, there has to be a moment where they go, okay, they're gonna be backpedaling, they're all gonna be backing off, trying to get into position, looking at the line, making sure that they're tracking Mateo Joseph, etc. There comes a time where, okay, he's got past one midfielder, he's got past two midfielders, he's actually running at the defence now. One of the defenders is eventually going to have to step up and try and tackle him. And that is the moment where Mateo Joseph can make his run into the gap that he vacates. And if Ramazani can get his passing right in the final third, you're going to get a lot more 1v1s. If the defenders continue to back off and don't come out to Ramazani to try and close him down, that's when Ramazani might be able to take shots from the edge of the box. So what he's offering is something that our other players can't really do. You've got Solomon, who isn't quick but has quite good feet and is able to go past a player. You've got Dan James, who is rapid but isn't particularly good at dribbling. You've got Brendan Aronson, who is good with his feet and good passing, but he's not the quickest player in the world. So Ramazani kind of offers you a little bit of a combination of all of those things. And I think playing him off the right or the left really gives you something more. And I think more than what Solomon offers. So for me, and especially as well, look, Solomon's a good player because he's come in from Tottenham and he's played Champions League football. But he's a lone player, and you want to reward the players who are permanent signings to the club, really, don't you? So you want somebody like... The reason why Rothwell's not on the pitch all the time, granted, if you took away the footballing aspect of it, he's not going to start over Gruev and Ampadu because they are mainstays of the club and they are permanent players. I would like to see Ramazani on the pitch because, as well as that, I think he's the best option at this point in time. I really do. I think Ramazani's somebody who we've seen a little bit of, and we've seen him carrying the ball. But we've seen that he can score goals in his time at in Almeria in Spain. And I think he's somebody who has to start from now on, because I saw what he did when he came on against Burnley. I saw what he did when he came on in previous games as well. I need to see more of him. I think Cardiff is a perfect opportunity to put him on the pitch and go, okay, do you know what? Terrify these defenders, terrify these players. They're low on confidence already. They're low in the division. The manager, I don't know if he already has been sacked, but he looks like he's going to be sacked. Bring on Ramazani from the start. Start Ramazani, please, in this game, because I think he will offer us something completely different to what we've already had. And obviously, the more chances we create, the more likely we are to score. We have to keep creating chances because we can't shoot. So we have to keep creating chances. And I think Ramazani is somebody who offers you a chance to create more opportunities. And I think if he gets more game time this season, I think you're going to see his numbers go through the roof. I think you're going to be able to see that he's creating more chances, he's scoring more goals, he's creating more shot-creating actions, creating opportunities for his teammates by driving with the ball, by carrying the ball. And I think that he's going to tear up this division if he's given that chance. So for me, Ramazani has to start. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.